Hi guys, it's Sam Cawthorn here, and today I'm going to be a bit of a superhero. And the reason is I've put together this blog for you right now, particularly for the financiers out there, and I'm going to give you 3 powers that you can have within yourself, within your team, and within the industry that I think that is needed right now. So the 3 powers is this. The first power is the power of focus. Most people out there have heard my story, how I lost my most dominant arm in a major car accident just a few years ago. And it's quite interesting. I now live with a thing which is called phantom pain. So get this. If I close my eyes, I can still feel every single one of my fingers. I can feel my wrist and my elbow as if it's all still there. But it's not. It's called phantom pain. Sometimes it'll wake me up in the middle of the night because it's so painful. Let me give you an idea what it's like. You know when you lean against your leg or against your arm for ages and ages and you get that really bad pins and needles, yeah? And you want to allow your arm to stretch that out to allow that circulation back through. Imagine the worst pins and needles that you've ever felt in your entire life. Times that by 100. That's how my arm feels 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's called cognitive disassociation, which means this. I've now conditioned myself to no longer focus on this. What I'm saying here is the power of focus is all about what you focus on is what you get. If you focus on the crap, or the crisis, or the issues, or the problems, or whatever you're going through right now, even if it is looking at the changes that are happening with FOFA, the changes in legislation, the changes of compliance, if you look at that as a negative, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get negativity. But if you look at the changes, or if you look at the things that are happening right now within yourselves, within your teams, within your organizations, if you look at that as a positive, or if you look at that as the power of focus, looking at that, look, we can grow from this. There's a thing which is called adversarial growth, which means through our most toughest of adversaries can ignite some of the greatest of growth periods in our life. So the first power that we can have is the power of focus. What you focus on is what you get. The second power for you to be a superhero is this. Proximity is power. There's a long line of research now that says that you are the average of your 5 closest friends. The company that you keep determine who you are. I remember when I was in hospital for 5 months, there was another guy that was in hospital and he had a motorbike accident and he lost his leg in the accident and he wasn't taking it too well. Actually, to be quite honest, he tried to commit suicide a number of times. And they tried doctors and counsellors to go and connect with him, but nothing at all worked. But then they could see that I was taking my accident really well. So they asked me to come down and connect with this guy. At one stage there, I was known as the in-house counsellor for this particular hospital. And I remember going down and connecting with this guy, and I remember, you know, we were doing time trials up and down because I was in a wheelchair, he was in a wheelchair. But get this, all he wanted was someone to connect with, to someone to say, hey mate, let's go through this together. That's why I believe that events are so powerful, conferences, conventions are so powerful, because there is a sharing of best practice, because there's a collaboration, because there's community that happens right there. And what proximity as power is all about is that when we are the average of our 5 closest friends, we must look at those people around us that influence us in a positive way, not a negative way. You know those conversations that when we leave, you know, we feel drained, we feel as if someone's just sucked all the energy out of us. We feel as if we've done things that we shouldn't have spent time on doing. That is when we are hanging around with the wrong type of company, with the wrong type of people. But you know those people that when you hang around with, you feel inspired. You feel as if you can take on the world. You feel as if you can go and try those new and innovative things, how you can win that next deal, that new client, whatever that might be. Proximity is power. The company that you keep determine who you are. You are the average of your 5 closest friends. This research also shows that you're the average when it comes to your health, your well-being, your exercises, when it comes to your bank account balance, in so many levels, that you are the average of your 5 closest friends. Now, my third superpower for you guys is the power of happiness. What do I mean by that? You know, there's a long line of research now that says that positivity and happiness can boost our performance, can boost our energy rates, but also can help us with our successfulness rates and our profitability within our bottom line. There's a long line of research that says that people want to do business with more happier people, with more vibrant and generous people as well. That whole act of generosity, that whole act of gratefulness, which also obviously is spurred on to that whole sense of happiness as well. There was a research that was recently done, and what they found is they got a whole heap of students, about 1,000 students, and they gave them all $20. And what they then did, they divided them into 2 groups. The first group, they said, go and spend that $20 on yourself. The second group, they said, go and spend that $20 on someone else. That whole altruistic act, the whole, act of giving, generosity. What they found is the students that went out and gave, went out and were generous, every single one of them had heightened levels of happiness, heightened levels of energy, focus, the whole entire thing, just simply from that act of giving. So guys, what I would encourage you today is this whole area of the power of happiness, making sure that you've got areas there within your teams, within your organisations, within yourselves where you can go out and give, be generous, see where you can go and do volunteer work, whatever that might be. What me and my wife and my kids regularly do, whenever we go drive through McDonald's, we always buy the meal of the car behind us. And I know that might sound really basic, but it's amazing, the difference that it makes in that lady at the counter we're saying, look, we're buying the meal of the car behind us, and she's like, really? Oh my gosh, you've made my day, that's awesome. And then when we drive forward, the car behind us comes up to the wheel and they go to pay the meal, and the lady goes, oh look, guess what? The car in front of you just paid for the meal. And these guys are going, really? And we're in our car going, yes, that's awesome. And something, just for that moment, you boost happiness. You boost, whatever that might be, you're boosting that whole performance levels. So I want to encourage you, whatever it is, throughout the next month, throughout the next 6 months, look at ways where you can give back to your community. Look at ways where you can be more generous. Look at ways where you can even add more value to your clients, to add more value to your staff, whatever that might be. So guys, for you guys to be the superheroes coming into this next season in your business, in your life, making sure that you're looking at the 3 powers. The power of focus, proximity is power, and the power of happiness. This is Sam Cawthorn here. Loved connecting with you guys. Really looking forward to chatting to you financiers over the next months. Talk to you soon.